Professor Shaun Viljoen, Deputy Dean of Education at Cornerstone Institute. Welcome. We welcome you to your first professional qualification, your Postgraduate Certificate in Education, and we have students with us in the foundation phase program as well as in the intermediate phase program. In 2025 and beyond, we will have a third Postgraduate Certificate in Education at the high school level, the PGCE SP FET as it's called. We'll also then have master's and doctoral programs on our books to create a pathway for you if you want to take studies in education further. As you will see from the graphic, we have students in 2023 who were part of our online PGCEs located on almost every continent. The qualification is recognized in almost all locations and countries of the world, except at the moment in 2, but more of that from your teaching practice coordinator. Cornerstone is nearly 50 years, or just over 50 years old, and has over the decades built up an ethos and a set of values which has at its core social justice. So in working with you, we are hoping that you will embrace these values of commitment, of engagement, of being empathetic, knowledgeable and creative teachers. In our pedagogy, we committed to an engaging and engaged pedagogy, drawing on the work of the Brazilian intellectual and educationist Paulo Freire and others who believed in this kind of dynamic engagement that makes for optimal learning. We try and embody these very principles and values in our work with you and hope this is what you will do one day when you're in front of a classroom. Many of you are already very experienced in teaching, and some of you have qualifications as high as a master's degree. And what we're doing in these courses is trying to make space for your experience so that you can contribute what you know, what you've learned on the ground in your work in education. Crucial to our work with you is to know who you are. So we're asking you, as your first bit of homework, to complete the Google form called Know Your Students, which we'll send to you via a link on Funda. Please, all of you, complete that so we get a sense of who we're working with, who is in our classrooms. We've created a new site on Funda in addition to the module sites called the School of Education. It is a site in which all of you in both PGCs, all our staff, full-time and part-time, and administrators come together every second week or so to field your questions and to share our views and our information with you, and also where ex-students, alumni, come and talk to you about what has happened since they've done the course and share their wisdom with you. Many of you, in fact, most of you, are working while you're studying. And this, together with all the demands in your private life, is going to be very taxing. But I urge you, implore you, not to turn what we're doing in the course of this year or two with you into a qualifications factory. Do not do the minimum. Do not turn in mediocre work. Can I ask that you engage and grow so that you find that in the course of doing this, your knowledge, your skill set, your professionalism develops exponentially. Our academic integrity policy urges you to use appropriate academic sources, popular sources, and artificial intelligence platforms, but use all sources critically with discrimination and acknowledge them fully in your work. We will keep reminding you, you are now postgraduate students, and we expect that level of engagement, research, reading, writing, and respect. We in turn will do the same and work in the same ways with you. This year, unlike in the past, we want you to work in groups in your studies, in groups of 3 or 4 or 5. Again, more details of how we will do this will follow, but this stems from a firm belief that often you learn more from your fellow students than you do from us. At the heart of our PGCE is teaching practice. These 45 days at schools, working with staff and learners, or pupils as some of us call them, represent the crucible where you test what you have learned in the modules and where your teaching skills develop exponentially. This year we hope to create a stronger integration between the modules and the teaching practice. And the plenaries, the School of Education site, is one of the ways we hope to achieve this integration. My colleague Anal Kutsi has from this year been appointed our teaching practice coordinator. We have a new and more flexible teaching practice policy, and Anal has created a most useful handbook for practice teaching, which she will put on her tutorial sites, but we'll also put on the School of Education site. Your first bit of homework is to go and read that from cover to cover, so you fully grasp what it is that happens in teaching practice. I wish you all of the very best in your studies in what I think is going to be a really hard year, locally, nationally, and globally. Thank you.